Monroe Steele here from Fashion Steele NYC, and welcome back to my channel and another video. Make sure to give a girl a thumbs up and subscribe if you love fashion, beauty, lifestyle, and travel videos. All right, you guys, we have a get ready with me today. I'm going to show you how I get this hair, this makeup look, and we are going to talk about the state of relationships, dating, being an entrepreneur, and all the things. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys, we are starting from the top. By the way, I'm wearing this dress from Skims. I do have a similar one from Quince that is half the price and still an amazing quality. So I'll link the ones from Skims, and I'll link the similar dupes, but maybe even better, from Quince down below. So we're getting started, y'all. My skin has been going through it, probably because I was on antibiotics for a little bit. Yeah, women things. I don't know why, but I was on antibiotics for a bit, and when I'm on antibiotics, it breaks me out. So I have a lot of hyperpigmentation. I'm also a few shades darker because your girl has been out in the sun cycling on her bike. And I wanted to start with my hair, kind of how I do it, because I get a lot of questions about my hair. Again, I've done a full blog post on how I get every single hairstyle that you've seen my hair in, all the products I use to wash, condition, how I get a slick low bun, all the things. So yesterday I washed and deep conditioned my hair. I put a little leave-in conditioner, and then I blew my hair straight with the Not Dr. Conair hairbrush, which is my favorite. I think it's the best one for natural girlies who want to wear your hair straight every now and then. And then I flat twisted my hair. As you can see, it's in flat twists and 4 little twists down each side. And then I just wrap my hair up for a day. So it's been like this for about 1 full day. And now I'm gonna take it down and show you the process while we chat and talk about life, about dating, about New York, about Miami, about all the things. I also gave myself a little trim when I blew my ends out, and I could really see the damage, and I just cut it off. I have no problem cutting my own hair. So yeah, I think I'm getting braids tomorrow anyway, so this is only gonna last for about a day or two. And it's a nice wave. I used a little bit of the Pattern Beauty Hold Gel, just a little bit, not a lot at all. My hair was basically dry. And this is how I get my little crinkly hairstyle. So yeah, let's talk about single life, about dating, because I get a lot of unsolicited advice, especially when I title my videos single, child free, and whatever. I get a lot of people in the comments oh, he's coming for you, just pray for him, and oh, don't you want to have kids? I feel that's the point of life, and I mean, it's great that you're happy now, but what are you gonna do when you're older? And I'm just here to let y'all know that it's okay not to base your life off of what you think would make you happy, and just be happy in the now with the life you have. Because honestly, you never really know if those things are gonna happen for you. There was a lady going, no shade to this lady, clearly she has her own thoughts and views of what happiness looks like for her, and that's great. But she made it seem oh, I'm not gonna be single for long. I'm gonna get out there, I'm gonna find me a man, I'm gonna have me some kids, and I'm gonna do this and that. I'm good for you. If that's what you want, great. But that's not the only way life can look. Contrary to popular belief, I am the happiest I've ever been in my life, and I've been in long-term relationships, and a lot of them were just stress. And I'm at the point in my life where I want to be stress-free. I'm never lonely, although I really like being by myself a lot. I'm more of a homebody, and I really enjoy being alone. And I enjoy my own company. I think I'm a delight, but I'm not lonely. I have friends, I have family, I do date, I have lovers, So it's not like I have an unfulfilled life because I'm not in a relationship, or I'm not like married, or I don't have children. And I don't even know if I want to have kids. Like, I feel like we already have talked about this before, but to be 1000% honest, I don't feel like I'm gonna have kids unless I meet a rich man. And I'm just gonna be like really real here. I'm a rich woman, but I feel like I need a rich man who has a very open schedule, who will be a willing and able participant in raising said child. And I mean available, I mean really around to raise the child as well. It's gonna be a 50-50 job. I'm gonna do 50%, he gonna do 50% of raising the child. And then also, I just need him to have like a very open schedule. Hence, he need to be making money when he sleep. And I feel like it's easier to just have childcare as well, so that we can still have a life together and also raise our child, but that the relationship doesn't just become about the child. That we both are still living and growing and pursuing our dreams, in addition to also raising a healthy, well-balanced, decent human being together. That's the only way that I would consider having a child. And at this point in my life, I will only ever have one, if that were to happen. So to all of those asking about that, that's the tea. So I've taken my hair out. This is what it looks like. Over the next like hour or two, it's going to just get bigger and bigger, and I actually prefer it that way. You can kind of see how much I cut. I cut about 1 inch off all the way around, just to cut my dead ends off, because I am about to get my goddess braids back in. I'll pop a few pictures here of what the goddess braids look like. I get my hair done by, her name is Brittany. She's based in the Miami area. She does have a hair salon as well, like a brick and mortar, but she always comes to my house because I'm busy. And she does do that service where she will come to your house and braid your hair for you. So I love that. I have no idea about the hair, the length, none of that, but I am vlogging that, like for real this time. I always say I'm gonna vlog it and I never do, but I'm vlogging it for real. And she gonna give y'all all the tea. So she does my knotless goddess braids, and that's how I'm gonna keep my hair for pretty much the whole month of May, and for my birthday, for my trip coming up, and probably even into June when I'm like in New York for Juneteenth, and when I hopefully have my meet and greet. So now that you have all the tea on the hair, let's get into the makeup. Okay, I am gonna use this Afro pick to just go in a little bit in my roots, but y'all, I live in Miami, so the humidity is set to hell, so it's already just gonna fluff out and look the way I want it to look in about an hour or two, so I don't have to like mess with it too much. Now, a lot of people ask me if I cut my hair into this style, and I don't. This is just how the hair grows out of my head. But I'm sure you could ask for this kind of haircut, but I would do it with your hair blown straight to make sure, because if you cut it in its curly state, it might not be the same. So that's the hair. The ends are looking lovely. We are going to get started with the makeup. Now, I always start my makeup routine by prepping my face, and I usually moisturize with a little Youth to the People Kale and Spinach Air Whip moisturizer. It is my absolute favorite. It is vegan, it is clean. My skin soaks it up and loves it. That way my skin is already moisturized, so it's like tricking my skin into not making more excess oil and thus ruining my makeup. So here it is. I have spoken about this so much. This is my all-time favorite product from Youth to the People. I actually really love all of their products because they're all just fabulous and clean. So I will be sure to link this down below. It also has hyaluronic acid, which is great for giving you plump, youthful, glowing skin. And yeah, it's a great like base to start with makeup, even if like you don't wear a primer. I normally don't wear a primer. A lot of primers break me out, but I want my makeup to last today, so today we are going to do a primer. So now we're gonna go in with the little Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Smoothing Serum. They do have a primer too that I like to use, but I just use just a little bit. And we're gonna go in on the forehead and on my cheeks. I love the way this smells. Because really I just want to protect my skin from anything that might be harmful in the makeup. And then finally, we're going in with Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. This is one of my favorite primers when I do wear primers. This is the blurring effect one, and I like that because it gives you a nice, like, blurred, very, like, beautiful, almost like a filter finish on your makeup. And also, I have quite a bit of, like, dimpling and texture, which is pretty much hereditary for me. But in order to smooth everything out, I just use just a little bit of this. And I, again, mostly focus on cheeks, forehead, nose, and chin. I don't feel the need to, like, put the primer all over my face, but this is where I know I will need it. And also, you can just feel your skin feel, like, super smooth after you apply this. Like, this is so good. So I'll be sure to link all of these down below. This is what I use to prep my skin, make sure my skin is moisturized, hydrated, plump, and like an even keel texture before I apply my makeup. Now, while all of my serums and primers are sinking in, I usually do my baby hairs because I can't do it after, because then makeup gets into your baby hair and that's not cute. I like using Gummy Styling Wax Ultra Hold from Amazon. This is one of the best, like, edge controls in the world. Shout out to Aaliyah's face, who put us all on. So I just go in with just a little bit, and I don't go crazy with my baby hairs. Just use a little comb, a little rat tail comb, to get the baby hairs together. And like, literally once I do them like this, they just lay down for like the rest of the day, even in the humidity of hot and sticky Florida, which actually isn't too bad today. So I'll be sure to link this edge control down below. I actually have a blog post with all of the hair products I use, and I also have a product with all the skincare products I use, as well as all of the makeup products I use. So if you don't want to go back and forth to the description box looking for all these things, just go to my website. There is a link down to it in the description box, as well as to all of the relevant blog posts in the first pinned comment, my comment, down in the comments. Alrighty, let's chat some more. That's all I don't know if that's all I want to say about relationships, but there, you can be happy and be single. In fact, I would suggest you find your happiness before getting into a relationship, because if not, you're always going to be seeking validation from your partner and basing your happiness on what they can give you, when really all of that stuff needs to come from within. And I do feel like a good partner can help you grow, can help you achieve your goals, and can help you kind of sometimes recognize the things that need to be worked on. But also, you should be able to do that for yourself as well. You know, I don't think you necessarily have to have a partner to achieve these things. Now, if I meet a guy, I'm not opposed to being in a relationship, but I'm not looking. So that's one thing I do want to say. I'm not looking, actively searching for a relationship. Now, if one just happened to fall into my lap, then that's God's will. You know, I would entertain it. I'm not opposed to being in a relationship or getting married. I just think that until I meet the right person, I'm not doing those things. And a lot of people do those things because that's just what society says. You know, you You go to school, you go to college, you get a job, you find a husband, you get married, you have some kids, and then you don't die old and alone. That's usually like the trajectory of what society has taught us how life is supposed to be. But it don't work out like that sometimes. Did I think I would be almost 40 and not married and childless when I was in my 20s? No. This is not how I saw life for myself. But I'm glad that I'm not, because the way that I thought my life would work out, the way that it actually has worked out is so much better. And that's tea. Like, I'm just gonna let go and let God, because God has done well for me so far in what's happened in the trajectory of my life. We're going in with Beauty Counter Skin Twin. I'm sorry, this looks crazy, but the actual little nozzle broke off, so this is why it looks nuts. I am color 550 dark. I love Beauty Counter makeup. I also use their skin tint a lot. Like, if I don't really care about coverage and I just want to look put together, I will use the skin tint, which is vegan. It's just a tinted moisturizer, but it also has SPF 20, which is great. So also, I'm a little dark, so my color is a little light right now. Don't judge it, it's gonna come together. But with the Skin Twin, it is a pretty light coverage. You can build it, but the coverage is more like a medium coverage. I need to actually get my darker version of this, but I'm gonna contour enough that it should be fine. And I'm using this brush from Sephora. I absolutely love this freaking brush. This is the Pro Foundation 70 brush from Sephora, and I'll be sure to link it down below for you guys. Okay, so y'all see the vibes, y'all see the coverage. I mean, you can still see a little bit of my hyperpigmentation, but for the most part, the coverage is good. It gives almost like a glowy, kind of dewy vibe, which I personally love. So I'll be sure to link that for you guys. Yeah. So this is with one coat. I could do like, I could build it up, but I'm just gonna be around the house today, so we're only doing one. And what I do is I avoid putting foundation anywhere under my eye or where I'm going to do my concealer, because I feel like it's just packing more product over, and then it'll cause like lines. So I only go to about here on my under eye, and I leave the rest because we are going to go in with our concealer, which is the Laura Mercier Long Wear, Ultra Long Wear Concealer, which is my favorite. I kind of bounce between that and Makeup by Mario, as well as Rose Ink. Should I do Rose Ink today? I haven't done Rose Ink in a minute. Let's do Rose Ink. Usually I do Laura Mercier, but we'll go in with the Rose. But sometimes I feel like this isn't light enough, but because I'm a little darker, I feel like it might work well. And I have a yellow undertone, so I usually go for yellowish concealers. So for now, we're gonna do the Rose Ink concealer. We're gonna see how it turns out. And I'm just gonna dabble that in with the Pro Concealer 71 brush, also from Sephora. And I kind of do a little V. It's a little too much product, so we'll go back and fix that. And I tend to like a brighter under eye. Hopefully you all can see me because I'm just using like natural light. I'm also going to show you guys how I do my brows, because a lot of people ask if they're like done. They're not. I just fill them in, but I do it a pretty specific way. So this is the vibe with the concealer. I usually take it all the way under my eye to my temple, and I kind of make like a diamond shape, like so. I'm going really heavy-handed just so you can actually see it, but you see under the eye it's a lot like brighter. And I like Rose Ink because it's clean. But I also do, like I said, use the Laura Mercier. And they're very similar, but the Laura Mercier is a lot lighter. So if I was going for a super bright under eye, I would go for the Laura Mercier. For a more natural, everyday under eye, I would go for the Rose Ink. The Rose Ink is in LX 140 color. And then the Laura Mercier is in color 4N. So that's that. I'm going to go ahead and set my under eye with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. This is my favorite, but I bounce between this one and when I want to be super extra, I use the Huda Beauty Blondie Easy Bake. Now this is very, very like yellow, and I think I'm too dark to use this right now. So the Laura Mercier translucent powder, it goes on translucent, but still picks up that pigment and gives you that bright under eye. So let's go ahead and set my under eye with the Laura Mercier. I love these little triangles too. This is what I use to set my under eye. You can get these at Amazon in like a pack. So I'll be sure to link those down below. But I love that you could just slip your fingers in there and really kind of control the powder. And you can see how that kind of instantly mattified this side versus that one. And you can like let it sit and bake, but I'm not a huge like baker. Okay, so, and then I already told you guys the only circumstances I would have a child under, and I would only have one. But also a lot of my friends who have kids, and don't get it twisted, they love their kids and they make this known. When they ask me if I want kids and I tell them I'm not really sure, I'm on the fence, it would literally depend on who I marry, and if I don't, then I probably won't. They always tell me, don't have kids. I kid you not. Every single one, it's just like, girl, don't do it. They're like, oh, I love my kids like made my life, like my kids are wonderful, they're great, don't have kids. And I'm just like, they know something that I don't know as a single woman about having kids. So I mean, I don't know, guys. I don't know. The world is changing like rapidly. Like the world is kind of, it's not in a good place. And I don't even want to blame that on why not to bring kids into this situation of a world, but that's part of it for sure. That's definitely part of it. All right, let's finish up the face. Usually at this point I do my brows, and I get probably the most questions about my brows. So let me show you guys exactly what I do. And I usually use the Sephora brow pencil in the color Granite or Ebony. Oh, this one's so tiny. I barely have like anything left on this one. Okay, luckily I keep it back up and I just found another one. So this is the Sephora brow pencil in Granite. Y'all can see what we're working with my eyebrows. I mean, I do have them, but they're unmaintained. I don't get my brows waxed. I don't get them plucked. I don't do anything to my eyebrows ever. It's maybe been like, I want to say like 6 years since I had my eyebrows like waxed. But I don't do that anymore. I just let them grow. I use a little bit of the Ordinary brow and eyelash serum to keep them like thick, but I just brush them up with this end of the spoolie. It's like a little brush, so I just brush the brows up like so. Get them as even as possible, even though my like right eyebrow is a little bit taller than the left. It comes with a little cap, so we're going to put that on, and then we're going to take this cap off, which has the actual pencil there. And then I start at the end and I do up strokes, and I literally just go through and just fill it in. It's almost like art. Like if you like to draw or color or trace, doodle, this is like very soothing to me. You can already kind of see the difference. And then I go through the bottom and I kind of outline how I want the brow to look. Not too dark, because we don't want them to look nuts. I usually don't draw on the top, just the bottom to kind of close it in. And that's all I do for, well, that's not all I do, but this is how I get my brows to look super thick. I literally just draw them in. Now the key to making it look natural is just to use very light strokes. Like you don't want to look like you drew it on and it's looking super harsh. It also helps that this color kind of matches my hair, so that plays a part into it too. I always extend it just a little bit beyond, but other than that, I'm literally just going over my actual eyebrows and just defining it a little more. Okay, so while I finish up my other brow in the mirror, we can talk about dating in certain places. Now, a lot of people ask, how's the dating scene in Miami? It's trash. And when people ask, how's the dating scene in New York? It's also trash. But if you ask which place is easier to date, it would definitely be New York, simply because I feel like there's more men in New York that live in New York. The men who are in Miami are oftentimes transient. This is a travel town. People come here for vacation. So a lot of times the guys I meet here don't actually live here. So then it turns into like a long distance type of thing, which I don't have a problem with because I like my own space anyway. And I'm the type of person who's not like all up under the man I'm dating 24 hours a day. Don't get it twisted. When I'm obsessed with you, I'm obsessed and I want to be under your skin and live there. But also, y'all see my life. I got a lot going on. So it doesn't like deter me from dating. So I actually date in both Miami as well as in New York, even though I pretty much live in Miami. But I think it's just that men who are in New York usually just like live there. So it just makes it a little bit easier. And plus, just like the type of man I like, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, is in New York. He a little hood, but he got a good job. You know, he knows about the fashions. He's not like, what's that you're wearing? Like, he's into it. He can, you know, he got a little swag. Like, I like a New York swaggy kind of dude. But also with some brains. And so, I don't want to say that guys in Miami don't have no swag, but most of the men I've dated in Miami are not from Miami. They're usually from New York. Or, you know, they're Caribbean. So they have a little swag. Like, I need swag. Like, our swags don't have to match. I'm probably always gonna be swaggier, and that's fine. That works for me. Like, I'm the star in the relationship. But having a little something, like, I don't want to have to fix you up or anything. I want you to have a little bit of swag, like something that make me go, I like that. I like that a lot, you know? So yeah, usually that's a New York dude. So it's a good thing that I still live between both places. I can still date in both places and have and will. And then I just think there's maybe just a little bit more men in New York. For sure there's more men. So there's more options. And I got this question in my live. I don't think, did I answer the question? I think I did answer it, but someone asked about my preferences when it comes to like race and men, and I don't really have a preference. I've dated probably every kind of man that exists. Just kidding. My first boyfriend was white. I've had several serious, not several, maybe like 2 serious relationships with white men. My very first very serious boyfriend was white. I've dated a lot of black men as well, black American. I've dated probably more Caribbean men than I have American black men. I've dated African men, Nigerian, couple of Haitians, you know, look, all over. An Italian man, that was fun. A guy from Tunisia, like literally just everywhere. A French man. Yeah, I mean, that's also white, but I'm just giving you the countries. So I feel like the only guy I haven't dated is like, no, that's not true. I did date an Asian man too. That was fun. He was cute. He was mixed with something though. Anywho, all that to say that I love black men. They are my first choice, but I don't play favorites. Like whoever's gonna treat me good, that's who I will date. So it's not just that, oh, I need to like open my horizons, and that's why I haven't met the right guy. I haven't met the right guy because it's not time for me to meet the right guy, you know. But I've had some good relationships. Not all of my relationships ended badly. Like the last guy I dated last year, which y'all never seen, but he was very much there. It's just that we weren't compatible in the long run, and I don't want to say I knew that from jump. Maybe like a few months in I kind of knew that, but we just kept trying to make it work because he was such a nice guy. But sometimes it just don't work out like that. We just were not compatible, but like we could still be friends, you know. And what I think happens in those kind of relationships when it's just not working is that people just keep trying to make it work, because either you don't want to look like a failure, you don't want to be alone. That person otherwise is like perfect in most ways, but in the end, if your gut is telling you that this is not gonna work, 9 times out of 10 it's not gonna work, and people know it. They just stick around, sometimes even out of fear because they don't want to be alone. But I've never been that kind of girl. Like if it's not working out, this was fun, I learned some lessons, I gained another person in my life that I would probably trust with my life. Thank you God for this experience. Next. That's pretty much how it is with me. And I think that took growth. That took me understanding that I need to have my own life separate from my relationship, because if you put your whole, you just can't do that to either a man or a woman. You can't put your whole happiness on the shoulders of someone else. That's a lot of responsibility to make someone else happy. In addition to making yourself happy, it's hard enough to make yourself happy. So I don't feel like making someone happy is a burden that you put on someone else in a relationship. Like you should already be happy. The person who is coming into your life should just make your life better. No? That's how I feel. Let me know in the comments if y'all think differently. So we're now going to clean up my brows, which I like to do if I'm gonna be out. I like to clean them up because for some reason my eyebrows get oily first. I should actually put a little bit of primer on my brows, but they get oily and kind of shiny, and I don't like that. So if I line them with a little concealer, the concealer can kind of keep everything into place when the sun is sunning and the humidity is humidifying and it just wants to run down my face. It will keep my brows tucked where they belong. So for this, we are going to use the Laura Mercier Longwear Concealer. I like them to be a little bit lighter in color for in. So I do top and bottom. So we're just going to go in with a very little amount. Like so. We're going to blend it, don't worry. But I also like the contrast that this makes on my face. And we don't need a lot. And I really only go around the arch. I don't do the whole entire thing because then it looks very unnatural. To blend this in, I've been using this brush from Makeup by Mario that I got in a gift bag that I love. This is the Makeup by Mario E6 brush. I got this in a gift bag when I went to dinner with them. So on this end, I use that to blend my eye concealer, and on this end I use this brush to blend in my nose contour. So it works for two different things. So we're just gonna gently go in and clean this up. I will link the brush below, as well as the Laura Mercier Longwear concealer, and it just makes it look a little clean. Because being that I don't wax my brows, I do have a lot of strays, and this kind of covers up the ones that are like I'm not gonna wax, and makes it look super clean, like I almost got them waxed. Okay, and because I don't like things to look too perfect, I actually go back in with my brow pencil and I do some marks outside and over the concealer. Remember, the concealer is just to hold things into place when I start to sweat. But I don't want them to look perfect, so I'll go in and add some strays that go out over the concealer. So that is my complete eye routine. I literally only use two products. This Sephora brow pencil, this is in the color Ebony, and then a little Laura Mercier Longwear concealer to clean it up. So that's how the brows look. Maybe I'll try and put myself on the screen before and after, but literally I just fill them in. It's just like art, and it just takes practice to get them to look how you want them to look. But the trick is to be super light-handed and not super heavy-handed with it. Okay, so my next step is usually my cat eye, and I do use Makeup by Mario for that. I also got this in a gift bag, and it's so good. This is now my go-to cat eye pencil because it just makes putting on a cat eye so simple. So this is Makeup by Mario Master Mattes Liquid Liner in the color Super Black. Let's see it there. This is what it looks like. It goes on so simple and easy. It's very easy to control. I'm still perfecting my cat eye after years, but I've gotten so much better just with practice, and of course with, you know, a pencil that really just glides with every little step. Now I cannot do this on camera because I just can't, but what I do is I start out like right between my brow ending and the corner of my eye, and I just kind of connect the lines there, and I sweep it to about midpoint of my eyelid. That's all I do. So here's the first eye. I actually prefer when my cat eye goes out instead of up, because I feel like it elongates my eyes and makes my eyes look a little bit bigger. I took it up over the eyelid about midway, and there we have it. Okay, now that the cat eye is done, we are going to line my eyes with the Makeup by Mario Master Pigment Pro Pencil in Super Black. So this is the liquid liner, and this is the eye pencil, and it is super jet black, and it goes on super smooth. Now what I love about this is that, you know how sometimes you get powder and concealer all the way up into your lash line, and then you try and put on your eyeliner and it just don't work because it won't work on top of that? This will work on top of anything. And so I love this. And I think someone asked me, did I switch eyeliners because it looks super black? And I did. This is the new eyeliner that I've been loving. So look how I barely touched my lid and it's already on. It goes on so smooth and creamy. It's super black and it lasts all day. So you can see the difference now. I've done both of my bottom lashes, and then I like to go in the corner and kind of connect it to my liquid liner. So I just do maybe like 3 or 4 brush strokes up in the corner of my eye. That way my entire eye is lined, and it just kind of makes it look a little bigger and makes my eyes pop. This pencil also has a smudge, so if you wanted to do, can you see it? So if you wanted to do like a smoky eye, this would be perfect for that. Okay, so we're gonna finish off the eyes. We're gonna do a little eyeshadow as well as mascara. For the eyeshadow, I don't know, I can't get over brown. Like for an everyday look, I always go for a very natural brown, usually a dark chocolate brown. And of course my favorite is Dior. This is the Dior Backstage Eye Palette, and I usually go for the color Matte Santal, which is this brown. By the way, I am working with Dior. This one here, can you see it? I am working with Dior, and so I will link a few of my favorites from Dior, but they're also having a really great Mother's Day like gift set package deal. You can use code MOMDAY24 for a free gift with purchase over $125 at Dior Beauty, and I'll be sure to link some of the like super cute gift sets. I mean, these are perfect for Mother's Day. Most of them are under $200. You get luxury fragrances, luxury makeup. The packaging is incredible. You get 2 free gifts with purchase and an extra gift when you use the code. For me, that was like this super cute denim pouch from Dior. Let me show it to you guys. Here it is. It's like a little denim makeup pouch. So cute. So yeah, if you want to get yourself or a mother figure in your life something great for Mother's Day, or just any day, girl, I will link some of the gift sets down below. So I will also link my favorite skincare and makeup from Dior, but just look how beautiful is that. So I just close my eye, I go right in the crevice, I don't do too much, and then I just kind of fill it in a bit and kind of connect it to my cat eye. Such a beautiful, like just everyday, not doing too much color. Definitely get you a brown for summer. Makeup by Mario also has a beautiful brown. I'm gonna have to like rub this in a bit because I feel like I put a little too much. It's giving nighttime when we just want to give simple everyday. Okay, we're gonna finish off the eyes with 2 different mascaras that I'm loving right now. The first one is the L'Oreal Panorama Voluminous Mascara. They actually gifted this to me and then I ended up buying one. Amazing. This is just my favorite right now. I love it. It goes on super smooth. I never wear lashes. Now, I get asked about this a lot. I never wear lashes because my eyes are just so sensitive. They're gonna water all day. Like, I basically have to test my eyeliners just to make sure that they don't bother my eyes, so that I don't water all day, so that they don't water all day. And there's only 3 mascaras I can use that don't do that, one of which being Makeup by Mario. But yeah, I am loving the L'Oreal Panorama. I've been using this for about a month and it's just my go-to right now. But I don't wear lashes. Nothing against the lash girlies, I'm just too sensitive. But I like how this grabs my lashes and spreads them out and coats them and just makes them look so full and beautiful, when really, I mean, I do have lashes, but so that's one eye done. Y'all see the difference. And the thing about this is it's very affordable. Like, you can get this, I think it's like 10 bucks. Not even, maybe like 9. So it's a really great mascara and it stays on all day. I want you guys to really see the difference without having to look up my nose. Okay, so now I forgot what we were talking about, but yeah, relationships. I am currently dating someone and it's going very well, by the way. Yeah, so I'm just gonna finish off this eye and we'll talk about, I don't know, what else should we talk about? Work is kind of slow for content creators right now. Not just me, but like I feel like everybody's feeling it. Not just content creators, like everybody with a job is feeling it. And then the people without a job are feeling it too, because it's like so hard to get a job these days. Yeah, it's a little scary, honestly, which is why, especially working for yourself, you have to find other means of income, not put all of your eggs in one basket, just like depending on brand campaigns. Because the thing is, anytime there's something going on in the world that isn't good, like a war or genocide, that comes back on the markets, which then kind of affects how brands are spending their money and allocating it. And right now the world is, it's not in a good place. It's not in a good place. So I feel like anytime something negative like that happens, brands kind of pull back, with the exception of COVID. And I think with that, it was because so many people were at home and unable to do the kind of marketing that they typically did, and they had to rely more on content creators to actually send them the products and do the content and all the things, that business was kind of booming for content creators then. Things have definitely changed, and it's not the case with that anymore. And then so it's just kind of natural. It's cyclical when things are happening that aren't good in the world, that, you know, marketing is kind of one of the first things that is hit. So I think brands are a little on edge, a little scared. Plus we're definitely in a recession time. People are pinching pennies. You know, you're really just spending your dollars on like what matters, like food, groceries, like gas, childcare, things like that. And I've also noticed that a lot more people are owing the government money this year versus getting a refund. Even I got a refund last year and I was like surprised. But yeah, like this year it seems like everyone owes, which is just strange. Like, where's the money going? Anywho, I don't want to talk about politics and things like that because it just gets a little too muddled. But yeah, L'Oreal on the top lashes. This is how they look. I love them. Now we're going to go into the bottom lashes with They're Real Benefits Cosmetics. I love this mascara. And I love it on my bottom lashes specifically because it gives you that like Bambi eye. And the spoolie on this is so cool. It's like a little, can you see it? Focus. Why doesn't this want to focus for me? There we go. It's a little bulb at the end and you can see the little spikes, and it just grabs your bottom lashes and coats them so easily. I find it hard to do that with other mascaras. You just need a very light and gentle touch. So my bottom lashes are done. Like, you can barely see them, but in person they're popping. Okay, just know the lashes. Okay, so my eyes are done, and this is the point where I contour. And of course I use the LYS No Limits Strength contour stick. And this is vegan, it's clean, and it's also black owned. Mine has been through some things, y'all, so excuse its appearance, but it is very dark. And I go in right kind of where my concealer ends, like right in a divot where I already naturally have some face lines. And then I also do my forehead and a little bit over here, a tiny bit, not too much, because this is very pigmented, so it's gonna come out super like dark. and give me a nice hollow, which is really what I like. And it also brings some of the color back to my face, because when you put color only on your whole face, like your foundation, it kind of makes you look one-dimensional. So doing some kind of contour or also highlighting under your eye gives your face different colors, which is how your face naturally is, and just gives you more depth. So I didn't used to contour, but I figured out quickly that I was looking crazy without a contour, and looking very unnatural. And so just to bring the naturalness back and also give yourself a more chiseled look, the contour works well. Now, this is coming from a girl who does not know how to do makeup. Like, I just want to give a disclaimer right now that I might be doing things wrong. I might be doing things out of sequence. I might be using the wrong brush, doing the wrong thing. But this is, y'all been asking for my makeup routine, and this is what I do for my everyday makeup. And also when I'm not filming, this takes me literally 14 minutes. 14 minutes to do all of this. I can have everything done in 14 minutes. And usually I set a timer because I'm already running late when I'm doing my makeup. I'm using this contour brush from HAIR. This is contour brush 115 from DUCARE. And I always go up strokes. And it just kind of melts into your skin. I love how it looks. So we're gonna go around the hairline, kind of where my makeup stops, because I don't take my foundation all the way into my hairline. I use the concealer to kind of be a spacer between my makeup and my hairline. And then I just kind of go over my baby hairs too, just to blend everything. And that just frames the face so well. You can see it still looks a little harsh, but we're gonna clean it up. So now I'm gonna go in with this brush, which is the Blooming brush from Bare Minerals. It's just like a clean brush, and I only use this brush for blending. So I just blend that up into the foundation, into the concealer. Make it a little less harsh. Go around my hairline, make sure everything is blended. And I've learned with makeup that the best thing is blending. Like, it needs to all just look seamless. So you can kind of see the cheeks. It's giving me a nice little hollow. It's bringing some color back, and I love that. Okay, so another question I get, we're just jumping around here, is about like when I knew to like leave my job and do this full time. There was not a point when I knew that I was like gonna do this full time. I literally quit / got fired from my job, and this was what I fell back on until I found another job. By the way, if you're new here, I am a physical therapist. I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I got my license from NYU. Well, that's where I went to grad school, and I'm licensed in the state of New York. I worked for about 12 years. I did private practice. I worked in hospitals. I worked at Bellevue. I worked at Columbia. And I did a lot of private practice work as well. I've seen all populations. I've treated children. I've treated the elderly. I've treated marathon runners and athletes. I've treated the everyday person. And I didn't really have a specialty. I saw every kind of patient, every kind of hip replacement, ACL, tears, someone just learning to walk again, car accidents, back pain, wrist pain, neck pain, all the pains. And it was fun. Like, I really enjoyed my job, but what I didn't enjoy about my job was dealing with the bureaucracy of healthcare in America. Fighting with insurance companies to get visits, the note taking, it was just a lot. And I didn't know that part of the job would be so demanding. I really enjoyed my stint in healthcare. I will never go back, but I still maintain my license in case later on I want to teach or even open a practice where I'm not practicing but other people are. You never know. So I just make sure I keep my license. But at the time I had left my job. It was in 2019, and social media was just kind of really becoming a thing that you could make money from. And I had already been doing it for 10 years. I was already on social media for 10 years as a blogger, covering New York Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week, covering fashion events in New York City, having brands send me things, working with brands on banner ads from my blog, from my website. If you haven't been to my website, you're playing yourself, because all the tea is actually over there. I've literally written about dating. I have some crazy stories about dating. Go to the essay section on my blog if you are nosy and you want the tea on like my life in New York. But yeah, banner ads was a huge thing. Affiliate links was a huge thing. Reward style or like to know it had just begun. I was in their beta program. That's how long I've been on like to know it, which is where I post all of my outfit links. They asked me to join when they were still in beta. Yeah, I actually got a call from them asking me to join. That's how long I've been doing this. So I already had a bit of a following. I think I had 22,000 followers on Instagram, and a couple thousand, not even a couple, maybe like 30 or 40,000 people following my actual blog before Instagram even existed. And so I had a bit of an audience already before I even thought about just doing this full time. And I never even really thought about it until I left my job. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna chill for 6 months before I start looking for another job. Because the thing about healthcare is you're gonna always have a job. People are always gonna need help. People are always gonna get sick and be in accidents, and God forbid. But a job in healthcare is a very secure job. You're always gonna have a job. And so I knew that. And so I was like, I'm just gonna take some time off because I was already burnt out from my job as a physical therapist. And during that time, I just started doing more of my blog things, and really it just kind of took over. Like my blog things and campaigns and brand things just kind of took over all of that time that I used to use at my 9 to 7, because that's how many hours I worked. I was working like sometimes 10-hour days as a physical therapist and just doing my blog stuff on the weekends. Once that time opened up, I swear to you, it was filled with blog things, with brand campaigns, with sponsorships. And I think that first month I made triple what I made as a doctor of physical therapy. And that's when I knew that this was for me. I said, I'm gonna stick beside this. I said, this is the one and not the two. I said, you know what? This is for me. I'm gonna stick beside it. Like, it's just me and blogging from here on out, because the money was money. I was doing something that I really, really enjoyed. It was fun. I was meeting new people. Like, why not? And that's how I became a full-time creator. I didn't think about becoming a full-time creator ever until it just kind of happened. And honestly, I think that's maybe the best way. Either let it happen or maybe plan for it to happen, so you have some kind of security, maybe some money saved up. Because the thing with being a content creator is you never really know where the money's coming from. I'm just using a little bit of Laura Mercier powder in my lash lines. There we go. You never really know where the money is coming from, and it can be very sporadic. So if you're the type of person who needs to get paid every 2 weeks in order to be able to live and budget your life, being an entrepreneur is not for you. I used to think it wasn't for me because I was one of those people living check to check. Even though I was making good money, I was like, okay, I know I can do this because I'm going to get paid again in 2 weeks. I know I can do this because this is coming. But when you are an entrepreneur, that security blanket is gone. okay? You don't know when the money is coming in, so you have to be very savvy. You gotta be a hustler. You gotta have your hands in different things. And that's really one of the reasons why I'm coming out with my own product. Everything is kind of in production. I'm feeling like it's gonna drop next year. And I don't have a problem telling people my plans because I do everything I say I'm gonna do. I know a lot of people say stay low and build, but sometimes I don't feel like that has to be the case. You can tell people your plans. Just know that if you don't do them, there's gonna be someone thinking, hey, you said you were gonna do this and you didn't. But really, the only person you have to have a dialogue with about that is yourself. So you can stay low and build. You cannot announce your plans. Or you can just stand on business 10 toes down and do everything you say you're gonna do. And that's usually how I move through life. So I don't mind telling people my plans. And I'm not gonna tell y'all everything. I'm gonna let it come to fruition. I'm gonna let it be perfected before I do that. But I'm doing this for me and for my future. Because honestly, we don't know how long this social media thing is gonna last. I mean, TikTok is going through it. Instagram is trash. Like, all the girlies are coming to YouTube because at least this is monetizable and you don't have to depend on a brand campaign and, you know, things like that. And I hope this isn't boring for those of you who are not into content creation, which is a majority of you, but it's a big part of my life, so I definitely wanted to speak on it. Okay, so now that we've blended my contour from Liz, we're gonna go in with a little blush. My favorite right now is Makeup Forever. This is the Artist Blush in Limitless Berry, and I like it because it's super, all Makeup Forever products are very pigmented. And for me, I like a matte blush because I'm naturally oily and I cannot use a cream blush. I feel like it just makes me more oily. So usually all of the products I use are pretty matte base. We're gonna go in with the Sephora 66 Pro Blush Brush. And all you need is a little bit. And then I'm gonna go right between my contour and my under eye concealer. Almost like a Napoleon ice cream. We got brown, we got pink, we got light. Ooh. That was too much, but you can see it. It's so beautiful, and I don't mind using a lot of blush because I'm gonna blend it out. Now I just use this brush to apply it, but I go back in with my everything brush to blend it. And I do try to keep a line between the concealer and the contour because I just think it looks better that way. I try not to bring it too much under my eye. So it's just like very natural. So I am nearly done. I just need to contour my nose, and we're gonna do that with Fenty Beauty Matchstick in the color Truffle, which is color 4. And I just go in, make the most faintest lines ever, connect them at the tip, and then we're gonna go back in the Makeup by Mario brush E6. Remember, I used this side for cleaning up my eyebrows. Now I'm gonna use this little tiny one to contour my nose, and I don't go crazy with the contour. Just a little something, and you see how easily that blends in. Now the Fenty Beauty I can only use on my nose because for some reason it breaks out my cheeks when I try and contour with that. So I stick with Liss because that is clean. It also has skincare in it, so if it's going to be on my cheeks, I'm going to be getting skincare as well as a clean product, because that's kind of my problem area is my cheeks. So I try to keep a lot of like clean beauty on my cheeks. We're gonna take that right up into the eye, and that's pretty much it. So we are nearly done, and honestly, every time I stop and have to film something else, I forget what we're talking about, girl. But I think it was about like content creation and just like making plans to create my own product and like profit off myself the way that brands are profiting off of me endorsing their products. So we are all completely done except for the lip, and you guys know, boop, we're going in with my favorite. This is the Dior Lip Glow Oil in the color Rosewood. It's a beautiful like gummy pink. I'll link this down below. This is probably my all-time favorite lip gloss, followed by Rhode. But I think it gives like my lips a beautiful color. On my lips already is SPF chapstick. I cannot live without chapstick. So I always put chapstick on first. It has SPF 20 in it. And then I applied this. By the way, this smells good, it tastes good, and it lasts for a few hours. And I love how soft and smooth the applicator is. It's just so nice. All right, you guys, so that is my full makeup look, as well as a little tidbit on my hair. Again, I have linked the blog post with literally every single product that I use to get my hair like this, including like my hair straightener, my shampoo and conditioner, my leave-in conditioner, like all the things, as well as my full makeup look. Every single product I use, as well as the ones I use as a backup if I don't use that product that I use today. So very chill, everyday makeup look, but this is how I like to look when I'm, you know, just chilling, my everyday. No lipstick, usually a gloss day if I'm just like chilling. So I've linked all of those products down below for you guys. I hope you enjoyed us just chatting, you know, about life, about things. I have a lot coming up. My birthday is coming up. In a few weeks I'll be heading out of the country. I am going to show you guys like what I'm gonna wear and things, and I will tell you where I'm going. Matter of fact, I think the people, I'm gonna put it in my newsletter where I'm going. So if you want to know, make sure to sign up for my newsletter. There's a link to it in the description box, as well as the first pinned comment. Just click that link, put in your email. The newsletter goes out every Tuesday. I'm also only going to announce my New York City meet and greet in the newsletter. So if you're trying to come through, it's going to be in June. If you're in the New York City area, make sure you're signed up for my newsletter so you know when it happens. And if you don't like the newsletter, you can unsubscribe after I send out the details. But stay subscribed. I would love for you guys to stay. But yeah, I do have a code at Dior. It is MOMDAY24, all capital letters, for a free gift with purchase over $125. I will link some cool Mother's Day gift sets. There are fragrance gift sets, makeup gift sets, hand and body gift sets. So yeah, most of them are under 200 bucks. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed chatting with me. Let's have a little dialogue in the comments and let me know how you all feel about, if you're on the market, not married, but if you're on the market and you're like dating and single, like how's it going for you and where do you live? Okay, because I feel like it's hard all over the world. Let me know I'm not alone. And of course I've linked this Skims dress, a few dupes that are more affordable from Quince, and everything you saw in today's video. But if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give your girl a thumbs up. You can hit the up over button if you're watching from your TV. You can do it from your phone. I would love 5,000 thumbs up on this video. So if every single person who watches thumbs up, it would help me out greatly. Please do it. If you enjoyed the video, that's all I ask that you do, y'all. Thumbs up the video, subscribe if you're new. I would love to have you join the fam, and click the notification bell so that you never miss a video. All right, you guys, we have a vlog coming up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.